guys, welcome back. Today is day 11 of the Daily Arithmetic Challenge. Okay, on your screen now are your first 6 questions. Now we really are getting towards the end of the test paper, so for today there are only 6 arithmetic questions and then there are 2 reasoning questions for you to have a go at. As always, pause the screen, have a go. Once you've done these, there are 2 more on the next slide, and then once you've done all of them all together, we'll go through the answers. Good luck! Time to go through the answers then. Okay, looking at the first question, we've got 1 and 4/5 add 3/10. So the first thing here, there's 2 reasons why this could be quite a tricky question. Number 1, it has a mixed number, so a fraction and a whole number, and it has also got 2 different denominators. So rather than trying to deal with both of those at the same time, I'm just going to focus on turning my fraction into an improper fraction, so getting rid of that whole number. So if I look at my mixed fraction, my mixed number, I have got 1 whole and 4/5. Well, if I've got 1 whole lot of fifths, that's 5, and then I've obviously got 4 left over on my numerator, so altogether that gives me 9/5. So as you can see beside it, I've written the method out again. I've now got 9/5, add 3 over 10. Then I have to turn them both over the same denominator. So I can see straight away if I multiply 5 by 2, I'm going to get to 10. If I multiply my denominator by 2, I must multiply my numerator. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top, which gives me 18/10, add 3/10, which gives me 21/10. Or, if you turned your fraction back into a mixed number because it started as a mixed number, there are 2 whole lots of 10 there and 1/10 remaining. Number 32, we've got 1118 divided by 43. So here you can see I've written out multiples of 43 along the bottom. Again, you don't need to know those off by heart. It is absolutely fine just to add 43 on each time. I have done 43 into 1, which I can't do, so I carried that across. I've then got 43 into 11. Well, I still can't do that because 11 is smaller than 43, so I carry the 11 across into the next place value. So I've now got 43 into 111, which will go in 2 whole times, but there'll be some left over, so I have to do 111 take away 86 and then carry across the 25 that's remaining, and I can then see that 43 into 258 goes in exactly 6 times. So number 33, 3/5 divided by 3 whole. So for this one, it's a division of fractions question, so straight away you know that you're using the KS2 method. Keep, flip, change. Before I did any of that, I needed to turn the whole number into a fraction just to make my life a bit easier. I know I've got 3 whole lots of 1 there, so it's 3 over 1. So then when I'm using KFC, keep the first fraction the same, which is 3/5. Flip the operation symbol to a times and change the fraction so that the numerator and denominator are the opposite way round, so it now becomes 1/3. 3 times 1 is 3 and 5 times 3 is 15. So you've got your answer 3/15. Number 34. We have got a very, very similar question to that one, in that you don't actually have to use KFC, but you do need to turn that fraction in that whole number into a fraction. So again, you've got 140 wholes, which means you've got 140 over 1. So you've got basically 2/5 multiplied by 140. So if you look at that on the working out, you've got 2 times 140, which is 280, and you have got 5 times 1, which is 5. Now for this one, I would definitely go and turn this back into a whole number because the second number was given to you as a whole number. So basically you've got to find out how many 5s go into 280. So 280 divided by 5, which I did do using a method, but it's not on the screen, and the answer is 56. The next question, I've got 1 whole 1 and 1/4, subtract 1/3. So again, I've got a whole number and a fraction together, which is a mixed number. So my first step was to get rid of that. So if I've got 1 whole lot of 4 and then 1 left over on my numerator, I've got 5 over 4, take away 1/3. Then I had to figure out a number that 4 and 3 had in common, so I multiplied the 2 together to get 12. I multiplied 4 by 3 to get to 12, so I had to multiply my numerator by 3, so 3 5s are 15. And then to get 1/3 into 12, I multiplied the third by 4, so that multiplies my numerator by 4, which gives me 4/12. and then I did 15 take away 4, which is 11, and you don't take away your denominators. Number 36. So this is a BIDMAS and a BODMAS order of operations question again. So I box up every time I use BIDMAS. So I've got 60 subtract 42 divided by 6. So I know in order of operations that the division is the first thing that I attempt, not the subtraction. So I've boxed up my division, which is 42 divided by 6, which is 7, and I've written that below. The 60 and the takeaway sign stay the same because we've not dealt with those yet. And then I do 60 take away 7, which is 53. Today, instead of doing some more arithmetic, because we're at the end of the paper, we are going to do 2 reasoning questions. So the first question, write each number in its correct place on the diagram. Prime numbers, even numbers, square numbers. Now the parts where the circle overlap means that it has to be true for both of those products. So as you can see, we have got 17 and 19 in the prime number slot. We have got 16 and 18. So if you think about that in terms of both of them are obviously even numbers, but one of them has got to be able to go into the squared number part as well. So thinking about your squared numbers, and you'll find that they go in the correct places like they are on the screen. And write 2 missing values to make these equivalent fractions correct. So we're looking for fractions that mean the same thing, which is what equivalence means. So if I look at the middle one, I've got 8 over 12. Well, I know if I go to the left and I've got something over 3, I have to think about what I've divided 12 by to get to 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, so I've divided it by 4. Whatever I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So I'm going to divide 8 by 4, which is 2. Going in the opposite direction, I've got 8 as a numerator and 4 as a numerator. What have I done to get from 8 to 4? Well, I've divided it by 2. Well, then I have to do the same thing to my denominator, so dividing 12 by 2 is 6. So well done today, guys. Make sure you come back for some more tomorrow, and just keep working as hard as you are.